Welcome back. Students continue to walk out of classes at Jefferson County schools in protest of the school board's proposed changes to AP history courses. This marks the third week in a row students and teachers have protested the Jeffco School Board, which has proposed the changes because they feel certain historical figures and events are omitted or presented in a negative light under the current curriculum. They want to establish a review board before any of the proposed revisions are enacted. However, some people accuse these new changes of censorship.
That is ultimately adopted for all American history classes in Jeffco was dramatically different than what the AP framework is suggesting and what even the state framework guidelines are suggesting, then I would potentially worry that students might not be that well prepared to do college history work.
More news out of Ferguson, Missouri, as tension between law enforcers and residents continue to rise after the shooting of unarmed Michael Brown. Over the weekend, an officer was shot in the arm, resulting in a non-life-threatening injury. The officer was shot while chasing two male subjects who fled as the officer approached them. One of the suspects then pulled out a small handgun and fired, hitting the officer in the arm. The officer was alone at the time and has since been brought to a local hospital. Police have yet to catch the subject. Authorities believe that the shooting is not connected to the demonstrations over the August shooting of Michael Brown, even though many protesters have threatened to kill officers in the past.
For the first time in decades, a small number of undocumented immigrants in the U.S. will have the opportunity to join the military. The program, known as Military Assistance in the National Interest under the Department of Defense, will now allow immigrants without proper documentation to join the military if they come to the U.S. with their parents before the age of 16. Individuals must also have been approved for the 2012 Obama administration policy known as Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. Qualifiers will have to have such high demand skills such as expertise in specialized healthcare training. Those with legal non-permanent visas such as student or tourist are already eligible for military services, but officials say it's still unclear how many of the DACA students will actually qualify for the program.
After the alarming news broke this week that a Dallas man was infected with the Ebola virus, new information has surfaced revealing that at least 100 people have come in first or second-degree contact with the Ebola patient. Health officials in Texas have ordered these people to remain in quarantine until October 19th. The virus is not contagious until symptoms appear. For more information on Ebola, visit www.cdc.gov.
October 1st marked the start of National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This is the 29th year the International Health Campaign has brought to awareness to the issue. Along with the American Cancer Society, the campaign is organized by major breast cancer charities every October to increase awareness of the disease. It also encourages women to get annual mammograms because this is the most effective way to detect and fight breast cancer. Each year, funds are raised for research into the cause and the treatment for the cure. According to the ACS, breast cancer is the most common cancer among women in the United States.
Learn how to protect your computer and online identity during National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. This October, the Department of Homeland Security spreads awareness about securing passwords, emails, pop-ups, and the dangers of sharing personal information online. The department recommends that you frequently change passwords and don't open any suspicious emails. For any cybersecurity questions, contact the ITS Help Desk at 303-352-7548.
ISIS is closing in on the key Syrian border town of Kobani. Despite the biggest day of airstrikes against the group, the Pentagon says the U.S.-led coalition launched 28 air raids in Iraq and Syria from Monday to Tuesday. It's the first time British warplanes have joined the States over in Iraq. Australia is now the latest to join the coalition. Prime Minister Tony Abbott announced a short time ago that the country's aircraft will start flying over Iraq in support of attack on ISIS. But he says Australia has not made a final decision on whether to actually drop bombs. And Turkey's parliament voted last night to send its own forces into Iraq and Syria. Turkish tanks are already on guard near Kobani.
Want to make your voice heard? How do you think Colorado should distribute the state's $604 million higher education budget? The Colorado Department of Higher Education is looking for input on creating a funding formula for the newly passed House Bill 1319. The law was designed to improve the state's higher education budget, which has the potential to significantly impact MSU Denver students. There will be 15 public meetings held around the state. You can view the full meeting schedule on the CDHE website, and anyone is welcome to attend. Microbeads typically found in facial washes, soaps, and toothpaste are now being found in fresh water supplies. They are also being found in the stomachs of fish that are caught for human consumption. The tiny bits of plastic are now flowing by the billions into the Great Lakes and other waterways. Illinois recently became the first U.S. state to ban the sale of cosmetics containing microbeads, and now other states are considering the same course of action. Cosmetic companies such as L'Oreal and Johnson & Johnson are pledging to phase out microbeads from their products and replace them with natural exfoliators such as oatmeal.
It's never a good idea to lie on your resume. Walmart spokesperson David Tovar has recently resigned after he admitted that he made false statements on his resume. Tovar said that he graduated from the University of Delaware with a Bachelor of Arts degree. However, Walmart found out that he did not obtain a degree from the school and was a few credits short of actually graduating. The company was in the process of evaluating him for a promotion to Vice President of Communications. Tovar had been with Walmart since 2006.
With basketball season just around the corner, it's time to visit our Denver Nuggets, who had their first training camp on September 30th. After an upsetting season last year that ended with the Nuggets missing the playoffs, fans will be happy to know that the team is looking great. The first training camp introduced some new faces such as Pops Mensah-Bonsu, Marcus Williams, and Jarrell Benamon. Players who missed out on such of last year's season due to injury have also returned looking and feeling 100% healthier. And we can't forget to mention fan favorites like Ty Lawson and Kenneth Faried, who just got back from winning a gold medal. They're back and ready to play. The Denver Nuggets exhibit the team's new depth on Monday, October 6th at 8 p.m. for their preseason opener against the Los Angeles Lakers.
Michael Phelps, the most decorated Olympian swimmer of all time, was arrested early Tuesday morning in Baltimore for speeding. But even worse, he failed his sobriety test. A Maryland police officer clocked Phelps going 84 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone. Phelps went public Tuesday afternoon with an apology recognizing the severity of his mistake. This is Phelps' second DUI. His last one was in 2004, along with a notorious picture of him smoking marijuana out of a bong in 2009. I can't believe Michael Phelps, you'd think he would have learned the first time, but I guess not.
Yeah, and it's really disappointing because a lot of kids see him as a role model, so it's a shame he didn't learn from the first time.
I mean, hopefully it doesn't happen again, but I guess we'll see.
Hopefully.
And now to political news. Here's Michael Ronnebaum with an update on the governor debate.
Earlier this week, Governor John Hickenlooper and Republican challenger Bob Beaupre faced off in their second debate before the November elections.
Negative ads, education, and Colorado infrastructure were among the topics discussed. Hickenlooper and Beaupre were trading jabs throughout the debate, but Beaupre received a crowd reaction when he caught Hickenlooper off guard when referring to the governor's stance on the trans bond exchange.
I'll have to look into that.
I'll send you an invoice for the idea.
Yeah, I think that...
A concerned voter asked both candidates what their definition for leadership is, and Beaupre did not steer away as he told the voter exactly what he thought of Governor Hickenlooper.
What's your definition of leadership? How do you exhibit, and how would you characterize your opponent's leadership style?
Yeah, I've known John for a long, long time, and like probably a lot of people that are watching tonight, I've liked John. I've considered him a friend and certainly a likable guy. Something happened along the way between mayor and governor to John, and I hear people ask all the time, does he realize he's no longer just mayor of Denver, that this is a bigger state than that?
The current polls had the two candidates pretty much tied depending on which poll you look at. All signs point that this should be a close race until the end.
Next, we'll move to something some people never thought would be possible. The House of Representatives passed legislation to audit the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve Transparency Act of 2013 was passed in an overwhelming 333 to 92 vote. The bill received bipartisan support with 106 Democrats as well as 227 Republicans pushing the bill through. Representative Paul Brown from Georgia introduced H.R. Bill 24, stating this is a vital piece of legislation that will help to usher a new era of transparency in this nation's monetary policy. The Federal Reserve is a creation of Congress, and it must therefore be subject to the oversight and regulation of Congress. Well, folks, this election year could be a little different than years past. What's the difference, you ask? Marijuana entrepreneurs are making donations to their respected candidates. Trip Kieber, the head of Dixie Elixirs and Edibles, a company here in Denver that specializes in edible treats, has said the word is out that the marijuana industry has money to give. Kieber threw a fundraiser for Governor Hickenlooper, which netted a total of $40,000. However, $40,000 seems a little modest compared to the largest federal spender on marijuana advocacy. The Marijuana Policy Project plans to donate $150,000 to federal candidates this year. But how much is the marijuana industry really worth? According to the ArcView market research, the marijuana market is worth $1.5 billion as an estimation of where marijuana will be in 5 years, close to $10 billion. Ridiculous. The amount of tax revenue collected in Colorado from marijuana sales in just the first 2 months, close to $6 million. It'll be interesting to see which candidates the pot industry supports.
What a beautiful weekend we have coming up here in Colorado. Sunshine everywhere, just glorious, glorious temperatures. Over here in Denver, we're looking at Saturday right now. And over here, we got about high of 76 degrees, low of 46. Not bad at all. Down here in Gunnison, we have high of 63, low of 32. So a little colder up here in the mountains, but that's to be expected. We could possibly see some snow up there, so let's keep our fingers crossed if you're into skiing. Rest of the state, 70s everywhere. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful weekend. Taking a look at Sunday, not much actually changes. 70s again across the state, sunshine across the state. Denver, we have a high of 72. DIA, 71. Over in Gunnison, 63. So again, it's going to be a little chillier up in the mountains, but again, that is to be expected. Taking a look at the national maps here, we can see what's exactly bringing us that nice, nice weather. We have a nice high pressure system here, which is bringing all that sunshine, all that warmth, keeping the west very dry. The same cannot be said for the east over here. We have a cold front that's just moving on in, bringing all of this moisture, all of this precipitation. We even have snow up here in Minnesota and Wisconsin. So that's good for people in the north who like snow. But yeah, the east has just been getting torrential rain. Taking a look at Sunday, we see that those storms that were covering the east are actually pushed out into the Atlantic where they dissipate, leaving just a little bit of rain behind here in Michigan and New York. Nothing too bad, just few raindrops. Again, in the west, we're pretty clear. We have another high pressure system covering up over Seattle that's going to make its way down here, bringing very nice weather for us for the rest of the week. Let's take a look at the 5-day forecast just to be a little more detailed. As you can see, Tuesday and Wednesday are going to be our highest days in the 80 degrees. So if you were expecting some snow, I'd wait a little bit longer. It's very nice. But then we have pretty cold temperatures in the evening, which is to be expected for the fall. So I hope you enjoy it. I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking so forward to all of this sun. I love it.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the hotter temperatures. This cold week is not for me.
Yeah,
So,
I haven't been feeling it either. I'm from California as well, so it's just, I need that hotness.
yeah, I'm glad the sunshine is coming back to Colorado.
I agree. Yes,
Definitely.
definitely.
Well, coming up after the break is EMIT. We'll be right back.